I'm Pam Whining with Axe Television Network, and this summer during the Axe radio recording of the Going Home program with Angie Harris, I met Bill Rajewski Jr. I was fascinated with his information on growing your own food and providing your family with a better choice of food to eat. Upon visiting his store, Show Me Hydroponics in Nixon, Missouri, I was amazed at how easy it would be and how affordable it could be for the average family to begin the concept of growing their own healthy food. So Bill, would you join me over here and show us how to put together a hydroponics system? Hi there.
How you doing today?
I'm just fine. Are you ready to show me ponics, Bill?
I sure am. What we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and demonstrate how to put together a deep water culture system. What we have starting off here is we'll have an air stone, we'll have some tubing, we'll have an air pump, we've got our light system, so obviously our plants can grow. We'll have a bucket, a 6-inch net pot, and that bucket is 5 gallons. What we have here, over here that I've been hiding is a little rock wool cube. And in that rock wool cube, it's been soaking for over 24 hours. We've changed the water twice in it, and we're preparing it for your cutting.
Great, great.
So what we'll do is, we'll go ahead and get this 5-gallon bucket. Now generally I like to use black or gray. That way you don't have any light penetration into your water, so you don't get any bacteria with your roots. So we've pre-drilled one hole here for our air tube to be able to go in once our lid is on. So we're going to take a drill here. We're going to go ahead and drill the bottom real fast. Sure, that would be great. Okay. Now that that hole is drilled, we'll reach down here, grab our grommet.
You just slide your hardware store?
Oh yeah, anywhere. I actually have them here as well. But you just stuff your grommet in.
Oh yeah, perfect.
So it's perfect like this. Then what we'll do is we'll take a nice elbow, and we'll take the elbow, and it has ridges, and we'll push this elbow in all the way. So now we'll back it out, just one little notch. And once we back it out one little notch, here we go. Now we'll have an airtight seal.
Oh, so you push it in and pull it back out.
Correct.
Airtightness, okay.
Right. And then any time later, and I'll show you when we go ahead to put on the put the nutrients and everything in. Here's a tube. It'll fill up with water.
Okay.
You'll fill it up and you'll know how high you're filling it by the gauge that's on the side of the tube. So we'll go ahead and put little marks
Okay, great.
as to how the lid goes on. So,
Can I hold that?
sure,
Yeah.
that'd be great. So all we do is push down here, slide it
Slide
in.
okay.
Here we go. I have a trusty assistant over here, Steve. Steve, you'd go ahead and set up the drill. We'll go ahead and start opening a few of these things.
Okay, this is exciting.
We'll get our air stone, which is a 2-inch air stone.
And it puts oxygen in the
Exactly,
water.
yeah,
Okay.
we'll let you know exactly. So you take your tube out, you go ahead and feed it through your hole, and then you attach your air stone. Now this has ridges, just like this little elbow down here, so that it stays on tight. You just push it in, drop it all the way to the bottom of your bucket,
That's easy.
and then pull your hose just so that there's not a lot of slack in there, a lot of things moving around. Okay?
Gotcha.
Now what you're going to do is, we'll just rest this bucket on here for now, check to make sure we're okay here with the hose.
Okay.
We'll take your air pump, and this is a 44-gallon per hour air pump.
Wow.
Yeah. The roots need a lot of oxygen. Your plant needs a lot of oxygen, and if the water's not moving and it's just sitting there, the water will get stagnant.
Oh, I didn't.
We don't want stagnant water. Same thing with this deep water culture system. What you need to do is you need to change the water about every 7 to 10 days to make sure that you're putting fresh nutrients in.
About
Now
once
you-
a week, a little more
Yeah.
than that.
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
You can use, there's several different types of nutrients that you can use. A lot of people use just regular chemical nutrients. What we here like to use is an organic nutrient made in the United States and sold here in the United States, not coming from anywhere else but the United States. So here we have our air pump. Here's the other end of the hose. All we do is push it on. Now you can cut this hose to any desired length that you choose. And it's really simple, you just twist and push.
Okay.
Boom, good to go. You
Yes.
plug it in, Now on the top here, you can regulate how much air you're actually giving. You don't want it to boil, you just want a
Bubble
nice
time.
bubble coming up.
Nice bubble.
Okay?
Okay.
So now we have that. My helper Steve over here, he just went ahead and put this bit on. And this little black attachment here, what we're going to do is, we're going to measure up here on the bucket so your hose can stay up and your water stay in your pot and nothing will leak.
Oh,
so you
good.
just make sure you put the little, and all it is a little ring you can get any hardware store.
Uh-huh.
And then you just put it up against the bucket.
Perfect.
There we go. Now we didn't go through the other side of the bucket so that we didn't cause any leaks.
Oh,
Now anytime you need to empty your bucket, we'll pull it up here
Okay,
so everybody
great.
can see really good. This hose obviously will be out of the way, tucked in the back.
okay.
Now anytime you want to empty your nutrients so that you can refill it, all you do is go ahead and pull the plug out
All right. Empty.
and empty it.
Now we empty
Then
it
you-
all.
Yep,
All of
empty it all out.
Okay.
Then what'll happen is you just put this back here and you can go ahead and fill back up with your nutrients.
Okay. Water nutrients.
Yep. So
Okay.
what we're going to do now is we're going to go ahead and set this back down here. We're going to go ahead and take some of our expanded clay. Would you like to touch this?
I would. It's very
Really light.
Really light.
What we're
Like
going to
little
do
round pieces.
is we're going to fill up probably about a third.
Put this back in
30
here.
up, third of the way.
Okay.
So what I did was I just took the rock wool out. I'm going to go ahead and leave this wrapper around it because what we want is the roots to grow straight down. We don't
Straight
want
down.
these roots to grow out like we would in
Oh.
soil.
That's
In
why.
soil, you'll have a bulb. When you're doing hydroponics, deep water culture, the roots grow straight down.
Okay.
And that's exactly what you want. You want your roots to go straight into the water, and that'll suck up all the nutrients and everything that the plant needs. So we just squeeze it a little bit.
Got a pre-made hole there.
Oh, it's got a pre-made hole right here. The bottom is flat. Now we're a little damp here still. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna take some of this Root Tech cloning gel. I'm gonna open it up.
This gel.
It is gel. It is a rooting hormone gel, which allows for the bottom of the plant, now that we just took the clipping,
Little tomato plant there.
just this little baby tomato plant. You're seeing it first right here at the shop.
All right.
We're gonna see what she does with it when she goes back to school. So we
Yeah.
just wrap it around. I
Okay.
don't know if you can see that, but
Kinda-
that whole bottom, probably half inch, is
Yeah.
coated with root hormoning gel. So
And
we're
that's
gonna
an
go ahead and just,
indeterminate plant. isn't it?
correct, which means it'll grow year round. It
Right.
won't ever
Unbelievable.
stop. The great thing about this is you can take this and then you put a netting up. And as this grows, you can make it one vine. So you're going to delay the process of the fruiting by keep trimming the sides off and allowing that top to just keep growing, and you're just going to keep wrapping it. And then
Okay.
when you want to go ahead and turn it so that it'll fruit, we'll go ahead and change the bulbs, we'll change the cycle, and this thing will just bear fruit
Wow.
incredibly, a whole bunch.
It grows around like this. is what
You
you're
can
saying.
wrap it, yes.
Wrap it around the net.
If not, it'll just grow
Up
and
to the
expand
size,
out.
right.
And the
Okay, gotcha.
easier way is to just, take
That
a little
is so
trimmings every
smart.
now and then.
Uh-huh.
Okay,
And trim the sides.
yep, we're gonna
Okay.
place this in here,
Right.
making sure that we kind of have a flat bottom.
Uh-huh.
Now we want to make sure that the rock wool is seated in there. So now I'm gonna hold this up a little bit,
Okay.
if you want to help.
Yes, I do.
Okay, just yeah, just gentle with it. You don't want to fold the leaves. Now we're gonna go ahead and pour the rest of the clay in here, the
Okay.
expanded clay. We're gonna wrap it all the way around, making sure that our plant will stay nice and steady. Steve, would you be able to go get us a little bit more clay?
Now, why is that clay so important? Why do-
Well, what it is when you garden with a expanded clay as opposed to a soil, you have less bugs coming in. So say you're doing like you're gonna do this deep water culture hydroponic setup in your classroom.
Right.
So now what's gonna happen is you're not gonna have to really worry about the bugs that you normally have to worry about indoors. Now you may have to play mother bee. You may have to take a Q-tip and all the little bells that come out, the flowers that open, you'll have to go ahead and take one Q-tip and go into every one. It's called playing mother bee.
Oh, pollinating.
And then you're
I'm a
pollinating yourself.
pollinator.
So
Got it.
A nice thing for the students to do,
Uh-huh.
maybe, is you can show them, and then they can go ahead and ring all the bells, you know, like a good deed for the day. Whoever did the best or whatever
It's
can
fun.
go ahead and pollinate and be
Wow.
Mother Bee.
Now, you do it just once for each bloom?
As it keeps coming,
Okay.
you know, you'll notice.
Okay.
We could take some
Cool.
pictures of this plant here, that the mother plant that we took it off of.
Right.
I kept it in vegetative state probably for 6 weeks.
Uh-huh.
And then now I turned it so that we'll go ahead and start to get an abundance of fruit and vegetables
Oh,
on
that's
it.
awesome. That's awesome.
So what we want to do here is, even though we're going to cover up some of the stem,
Uh-huh.
it's okay. What we want to do is we want to fill this all the way to the top. Yeah, it happens. That's why you have a good shop where you're working, and keep it clean. Plus, when you have the kids, they'll love to do this kind of stuff.
Yes.
So now what'll happen is, you'll go ahead. So everybody
There
can
it
see.
is.
No soil, no mess, a few
No.
clay pebbles laying around. But I'd say within a month, you're gonna have one big plant that you're gonna go ahead and be able to, I don't know whether you give the kids vegetables in the classroom, they'll be
Yeah.
totally organic, and you know, or you can take it home and, you know, share it with your family.
Uh-huh. Either way.
Yeah.
This is great. Great idea.
So then the last part you would have here, obviously we already have the light. And
Right.
we went over how we're going to go ahead and set that up. Now another thing that we have here, I was talking about, are the nutrients.
Oh, yes.
Now this is a totally organic nutrient. There is no chemicals, nothing man-made. This is all totally 100% natural, and it comes from Oregon.
Okay.
I do have a feeding chart in here for you, Steve, if you have the scissors. Okay, this will work too. What's in here is 6 different nutrients to feed the plant. And what it is it's nectar for the gods.
Okay.
Okay,
I'll hold
well, let
that.
me go ahead and open this up real quick. Okay, so now what we have here
It's a chart.
is
here.
a simple chart.
Uh-huh.
So what you have here is the 4 simple charts to get started with.
Okay.
It shows you how many teaspoons per gallon that you need.
Okay. We have 5
Early-
gallons.
Yeah. Well, technically it's a 5-gallon bucket, but you'll only use about 4 gallons.
Okay.
Because when you set your net pot on top of your bucket,
Net pot,
in the
okay.
beginning, you want to make sure that up to this second notch here, you want to have the water, it filled up this high in the bucket.
Okay. So that's
Once you
water
see the
level.
roots coming out and everything, what you want to do is you want to drop the water down to a 1/2 inch
Oh.
below the bottom of the net pot. It makes the roots thrive and want to feed.
Oh.
So
okay.
they'll extend into the water. Now, once they extend it into the water, they're being hit with the oxygen-rich nutrient water, which will just make this plant explode. And it's totally
Wow.
organic, so you don't have to worry about what you're feeding your students or your family.
Right. Oh, that sounds good. So at first you're going to be up to the second notch.
Yes, ma'am?
Get the water kind of going.
And then you'll drop it about 1 inch down, so it's a 1/2 inch below.
Okay.
And then what you do is, you just like I was leading to earlier,
Uh-huh.
you'll go ahead and mark your tube on
Okay.
the side
Uh-huh.
at first. So we'll mark it to where it's going to be a 1/2 inch above on the net pot.
Okay.
And then we'll do another mark to where it's a 1/2 inch below the net pot. So every
Gotcha.
time you fill your water up and with your nutrient solution,
Mhm.
you'll be able to know where to stop
Right.
without
Great.
having to look.
Good.
And
That's
you can
great.
just pour your water if you're using a watering can or an old oil. You know those old cool ones that don't have the big spout on it,
Right, I
but just
understand.
have the funnel. You can just pour that right into the side.
Okay.
It'll fill right up. Or you can just, because it's so light, you
Mhm.
can just slide it to the side
Put your water right in
and
there.
fill it right in.
And
You
this is
don't-
your gauge right here.
Oh yeah, here's your
Okay.
gauge. Here's where your air hose comes in. Really simple.
Oh, that is.
Great.
Oh,
Um,
fun for anyone.
Oh, for anybody, whether you're 7 years old, 6 years old, and you're starting to learn this, or whether you're 103.
Right.
You know,
Sounds
we all
great.
have to have good vegetables.
Wow. But I tell you what, Bill, this has been really exciting. I can't wait to get started and take this home.
Well,
So I want to thank you.
you're welcome, and
so
I'll be
much.
looking forward to those
Right.
reports that you have about
Well,
how it's growing,
and I'll
the
be-
pictures.
I'll be calling you, and also probably next time we see each other, we might want to do aquaponics. I
That
bet
would
the
be
kids are
great.
excited, and people too.
Well, maybe you could come down with a field trip.
That might be fun.